I have been running for about 5.5 years now. I am finally getting around to running my first marathon. Hi, my name is Alexandra Sizemore, and I figured the best way to keep accountable and really sort of learn how to do a vlog would be to do something that I know a lot about, which is running. I've spent, the last 3 years doing a podcast about running, so I know a lot about the professional side of it. I've spent the last 5 years training, been injured a few times, but we're working on that. Mostly, I just want to give this a shot. I've never done a vlog before. I've never really done anything with video, but I got a new camera and I'm excited about it. And so this is going to be sort of my experiment in vlogging. So to give a bit of a background, I started in 2014, did my first half in November of 2014, and then that's the dog. In 2015 was kind of just a waste. I got through May. I thought I was running a lot of miles when I think I probably maxed out at like 25 miles a week, but managed to get a stress fracture in my right fibula. Fibula? I think it's fibula. It's the little bone. And that sort of derailed me through the summer. Didn't want to jump back in too early. I got married at the end of that year in October. So just kind of didn't start really training until the end of that year. And then I found this community on Reddit that had lots of people who were really serious about training, not just running for fun, but really training to tease out the best of you. That's when I really got serious about training. My first half was a 2:14. My goal for my next half was to go under 2 hours. And just by doing the Hal Higdon half marathon plan, I got to a 1:57. And then from there, I did a solid block of base training through the summer and I think I hit 45 miles a week, but I spent most of my time in the 30s and started training with the Pete Fitzinger faster road running, lowest mileage, the 12-week 47 peak miles half marathon plan in the fall of 2016 and ran my PR at the Dallas Running Club half marathon. It was 1:43:08. It was a magical race. It was a magical training block. Didn't miss a single run up until like taper week when I decided not to run like a 4-miler because I didn't have time before work. Hay was in the barn, didn't really care, but still fantastic training cycle. Thrilled about the results. I figured the next year I'd probably go ahead and try my first marathon. And then after the race, there was something wrong with my IT band. I could feel it locking up at the end of the race, but I had never experienced it before, so I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was tightness, it was soreness, whatever. I was incredibly sore after that race because I really honestly left it all out on the course. I dealt with the IT band injury. I got some training in, ran my 5K PR 22:08. Really like those 08 endings, apparently. From there, I tried to run that same plan again, to run another fast half in the spring. Really burned out. I don't know if I wasn't sleeping enough. I don't know if it was stress, but didn't even make it through that plan. And honestly, by the end of it, I was so thankful to be done. I was out with another IT band injury. At that point, I started going to physical therapy, which helped with the IT band injury. Turns out I have weak hips. Who could have known a runner would have weak hips? So I sort of rehabbed that, started running in the summer, I believe, for a base training plan for a fall half. That was the summer I did the summer of Malmo, I think, and where you really just sort of run a lot, do some doubles, do some tempos, do a little bit of track work, which seems like, a training plan, but there's no real structure to it. You just sort of run what you feel. I tried to set like a goal target for my miles for the week and then just fit them all in. That's when I first started doubling. Loved it. Gave me an excuse to run really slowly in the afternoons, which is really all you can do in Texas in the summer. It felt like a real adult, full, solid training plan. I felt very in control of my training, and I thought I was gonna just crush whatever I ran that fall. I was kind of training for a 5K at that point. It was half base, half just trying to get faster, get better at being in those 2 workouts a week. My long run never really got that hard. The long run's really not emphasized in those sort of Summer at Malmo style plans, or philosophies, I guess. But so I think I maxed out at like 10 miles a week, but that's a good place to start if you're only planning on a half for the fall. So around September, my shins, the outside of my shins, not the inside of my shins, the outside of my shins started getting really, really painful. And then I started getting like drop foot, where it like, you can't really, your foot goes numb, you can't really pick it up. You're scraping the ground with the front of your shoe. So I decided, okay, well, that sounds like compartment syndrome, and it felt like compartment syndrome. It was honestly probably, aside from the stress fracture, the run that I finally decided, okay, there's something wrong, it was probably the most painful I have felt an injury be in running. It sucked because I was in great shape. I was in fantastic shape, but I couldn't run. I have struggled with always trying to do too much, which I think is a really common runner problem. Runners tend to be very type A people in my experience, and the ones who are very successful are able to sort of rein in I always need to be doing more, I'm not doing enough, I've got to do more. And it was then, I guess that was going to be the fall of 2017, that I really tried to start focusing on reining those bad impulses back in. So that, I think I ended up running the half that year. It was really hot and humid. I think I finished like 203 or 158. It was something. It was awful. It was a miserable experience. In the spring, I started going back to physical therapy because I was having, what issue? Oh, post-tib stuff. That was the new experience for that year. I had gone to Boston in 2018 to watch the race because I had a ton of friends running, and it was truly the most inspiring thing that I've ever seen. I got to see Des run by. I got some pictures of her running by. It was one of the most inspiring things that I've ever seen in my life. Seeing my friends out there running in these awful conditions after having trained to run 10, 15, 20 minutes faster. It was, I keep saying inspiring, but it really, truly was. I cannot imagine what it was like out there, and I wanted to do it. So I started training, getting ready to train for a marathon that summer. I got some really good miles in. I had gotten up to about like 48 miles a week pretty much, and I was just sort of staying there. I wasn't really taking any down weeks, and I probably should have, but I was sort of regulating through the long run the stress. I ended up getting up to 16 miles once, but a lot of my runs were between like 13 and 15 for the long run, and that was great. I think I was probably still running them too fast. I was trying to run fast because I had a goal for the marathon, and you should never have a goal if it's your first one. So I was probably running those too fast. It was a lot of stress on my body, and I had bursitis underneath the knee that came up about 12 weeks out. It was just a few days before my first, my tune-up half to sort of figure out where I was. Did the race, it was a 148, but I did what I could, and the bursitis really didn't go away until the next year. In November, I ended up getting in a car wreck and getting a concussion. So I think if I could have gotten the bursitis under control, I probably would have gone ahead and tried to keep training for that Houston Marathon, which is like the 3rd week of January. But between the knee problem and then the concussion, it wasn't worth trying. So I dealt with that during the off season. I think I started running again in December. And then this spring, I was still kind of dealing with it. So I just decided, all right, this spring, I'm just going to build up so that I can build up during the summer to have a training cycle for Houston in the fall, winter. And so that's what I've done. This summer, I'm approaching the end of my base training. I have gone ahead and gotten up to around 40. I think I've been in the high 30s, low 40s for, 4 or 5 weeks now. I've done a really good job, not to toot my own horn, but I've done a really good job of not getting caught up in little things, little injuries. If I've got something that hurts, and I've been running long enough now that I know the difference between soreness and there's something wrong. When I can tell that there's something wrong, I take a day off. It's fine. A day's not going to change anything. If the mileage is too low for the week, whatever. If it's not what you planned, that's fine, because I've been injured too many times now to not have figured out that a day off here or there isn't going to make or break anything. It's getting to the start line and getting to the finish line. So I've tried to be very responsible in that manner. I've got 1 week left of my base training before I start my 12-week plan. At the end of that first week, I've got that same half marathon that I run every year. And I am going to try to figure out sort of where I am fitness-wise. I think I've got a good shot at sub 150 at the very least. I haven't been really doing much speed work, been bad about strides. You know, the intense efforts are sort of the first to go when things don't feel right. This week I'm going to hit about 41, 42 miles, and then next week I'll probably be closer to 45, and then after that I'm going to take a cutback week, which is nice because it'll be kind of a taper for that half marathon. Not a real taper, but a little less mileage. And so we'll see where I am from there. It's a tougher course than Houston is going to be. Houston's going to be flat and fast. The weather for this half is, you never know what it's going to be. I'm really excited to try to go into this with a philosophy of, just get to the start line. If you get to the finish line, but it's your first marathon, you just need to see where you are. And it's good. Something about it's going to suck. You just need to find out how to run a marathon. And the first one could be terrible, and that's fine. I just want to get this one out of the way. But I'm going to try to vlog my training. I've had my podcast co-host, he started a vlog for his run up to the US Marathon Trials, which are at the end of February. They're on the 29th. I kind of like it. And now that I've got this video camera, I've decided, why not? But yeah, I think I'm planning on doing a plan sort of based on the Fitzinger, 12-week, 55-mile peak week plan. I feel comfortable being able to hit 55 miles because I've been up to 50 before. What really concerns me is all the stress of the workouts together. Strangely, you would think that the 12:55 plan is going to be the easiest one in terms of stress, but everything that I've heard from people who have done the higher mileage plans has been that the quality is actually easier to handle when you're running more miles because you've got a better ratio of hard to easy miles. Another big change this cycle is going to be that I'm going to be running with a group. For most of my running career, I have not run with a group. I don't typically do stuff like that, mostly because I like to be lazy and run when I want to run instead of running when other people want to run. The last maybe 4 or 8 weeks, I've been running my long runs and then some of the weekly runs with other people, and it's been great. It's kept me from going out too fast. It's kept me from overstressing my body, and it makes the miles go faster. Like it's that simple. So that's something else that's going to change. And I'll be running with people who've run a million more marathons than I have and who've been running for even longer than I have. So I think that's going to be helpful too. I am excited to sort of hit those long run milestones after what I've already hit. And I think that training with other people is going to be a key to my success. I'm really excited about this upcoming training block. I'm really excited about the vlog. I hope you all enjoy it. It's going to be a learning experience. I've never done video before. I've never edited video before, but just like with the podcast, you live and you learn. So yeah, I'm really excited and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Oh, remember to like and subscribe and tell your friends and stuff like that.